it is above me, the usual. Boom, baby, boom, rise and shine. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. I'm your host with the mostest, Mark Saint. Every morning I wake up, and luckily I wake up. Shit, if I could wake up and reach this 44, I'll be even in the back door. And this morning might be a little bit hazy because I was doing Songkran all day yesterday, and I think my phone needs to swim with the rice a little bit because it's looking pretty hazy, and that's okay because life is hazy sometimes. Life's be really hazy on us, and that's why this morning I'm talking about emotional damage because I've been watching, 7 red flags you should never ignore in a woman. I'm about to roll my morning joint. I'm about to let it all in, and this is really real because I had to learn these things, bro. I had to learn these things while I was so susceptible to women that gave me pussy too fast or discarded me so quickly or weren't a right fit for me. It's easy for me to point the fingers at everybody and how toxic everyone is and how this one's on drugs and this one's being aggressive and this one's fucking up my life. And on the other hand, I simultaneously had a healthy relationship and got to see somebody that actually checked on me and see how if I was doing all right, send me photos of things that I would talk about, or check on me in general, like my overall well-being. Like, are you okay? And if you're an emotionally damaged person, you're not going to give a shit if anybody's okay. Let's just keep it real. You're going to only care about you and you alone. And this is the narcissistic feel, right? This is the thing where we do is we're out trying to point the fingers at who's toxic and who's doing what. But lo and behold, all I had to do, especially with my Stoic philosophies and listening to these, is like, why am I choosing the women that I'm choosing? And there's a couple traps there, dude. There's like sirens there. There are girls that'll whisper in your ear, "Come to the island, wreck yourself upon me." And then there are people that will actually gravitate towards you and actually want your overall well-being. This conversation is about that because our emotional damage will destroy our mental stability. It'll make us see things that we might not even really see. And in that dystopia, in that dysphoria, in this haze that's over my show, you start to see that not everybody's the toxic one. You could be the toxic one, and not everybody's stoic and has all this patience and all this other good stuff. And of course, all of us have childhood issues, daddy issues, whatever you want to call it. But the emotional damage that we carry within ourselves and the fakery that we put out. I mean, Saint's addiction was to pull the saintliness back and go, hey, here's some addiction here. This isn't just like some perfect human being. Like, I got a lot of flaws. And matter of fact, I'm flawed up front. Let me tell you up front that all of this is a front. You know what I mean? That oh, you're charismatic. Oh, you got great teeth. You're so friendly. You're being nice to me. Could easily be, I'm a complete psychopath. I only just wear the mask because otherwise society would see me and they would be like, psychopath. And I think we all have psychopathic tendencies, sociopathic and psychopathy, narcissism, especially now in the 21st century. And unfortunately, a lot of us can't see our own forest through our trees. So this morning I was going to run the 7 red flags in women you should never ignore. This is something that I would just been listening to this morning, learning about CPTSD, learning about narcissistic recovery. Why is it so hard for me to get over this? Why am I so in love with this person? If they can hurt me, be physical with me, and destroy a family, why was I so connected in it? And it was objective too, because switching relationships, I had this relationship where the other individual was like, okay, take me out of it, make a smart decision. And that's when I was just like, okay, this isn't a race, this isn't a competition, this is a decision. And in our lives, we got decisions left, right, and straight. And I get up in the morning and I don't know who's watching, but thank you for tuning in. Say hello, let me know where you're in and where you're from. Shit drives me nuts. I mean, it literally made me throw up the other day. It was like, just the sheer thought of the audacity that people can reach, or the audacity I can reach. I've been known for having my one night stands. I've been known for now I've had some pretty decent long relationships, but not being in them of late, as we say. Let me get my weed real quick. Right? I'm not perfect, and no one really is, but the emotional damage seems to be real between all people. Like if you are taking on too much water, you will sink, and that's just what all of us are. And to what level? I mean, it's literally like addiction. Misguided. What's up from New York? Thank you for watching. How did you find my channel, and how did you come across this? Um, from New York. Fuck, you're calling all the way to Thailand. How crazy is that? I was saying something. I was saying something before I got distracted. I was saying something. Um, I was trying to explain something to the fact that we might not see our forest through our trees. I'm gonna try to roll this joint. Maybe it come back to me. But there's a lot to we don't see, especially because we're not in relationships. It's only when we're in relationships or even attempting them do we get to see how triggered we can be, how raw of an emotions we have, how sensitive things are, and where these PowerPoints are. It's not easy because most of us, we're going to ignore these things. We're going to at least put it on our opponent. We're going to put it on the other person and be like, well, it's all your damn fault, right? You know what I mean? If you didn't do that, then we wouldn't be here. And there's a lot of the blame game. And if you had been so much more sensitive that it would save this person, or if you could have been their psychologist, then everything would have been all right. It's so weird to me that I kept trying to fix things that I didn't create. And it's really weird because you want things to be all right, right? Everybody wants something to be all right in their lives. They don't want it to be awkward, and all these things only get exposed when you're in a relationship anyway. You're only that much more intimate with that person when that's happening. Only when you're in the boat do you learn how to swim, so to speak. And unfortunately, you can't just do it by staring at boats. You got to actually go over the water, put yourself in danger, and then find out if you can float. It's really literally like one of those things too. Let me there's my friend. Morning sunshine, I'm up and at 'em. I'm doing the morning marijuana motivation. As soon as you're done with this sunshine, let's go get some weed and go pick it up, if you know what I mean. Just scrolling, looking at highlight videos. Can't wait to go out there. You're speaking some real stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hearing it. No, dude, this is what this show's about. I mean, if you came onto this channel, then you see that I'm live from Thailand and that I just did Songkran, and possibly that's what you're seeing. But I don't want to give any misguided informations. I don't want this show to come off misunderstood. This is some information. I hope it applies for everyone, including the loud motorbikes that go past me every morning. This is Thailand, bro. You want to know about Thailand? That's Thailand right there. You know what I mean? At all moments, loud and noisy and in your face. But that's what life's about, right? It's loud, noisy, and in your face. And what I'm writing this about is because that in your face part has chance to damage you, right? Like it's almost like getting on a bicycle. It's like, sure, it's a lot of fun, but you can also fall off of it. And that's what I kept hearing from the guy yesterday was just like, it hurts to have another dog, right? Nobody wants to have another dog because then you might have to lose that dog, and dogs die earlier than us. Their average lifespan 15 years. So you might go through life having 3, 4, 5 lifetime dogs and having to experience each one die away from you, and that sucks to say because everybody's like, oh, Mark, don't say that. And it was like, but it is true. It is true, dude. The things that you have will end up owning you, and then things will end and change, and then eventually you're not exactly what you were originally. Everybody gets older, everybody changes, and that's where this emotional damage comes from, is because like we all going through time, maybe not equally in the same experience, but we're all going through time, and nobody's escaping time without some damage. That's the weird fucking part about this, is like everybody's going to have to experience some sort of up and a down. And what I'm about to do is play you the video saying 7 signs, 7 red flags in women you should never ignore. It's probably going to be applied to men too. What's that? I'm walking my dog right now, and I had him since 4 weeks. He's now 9. Aww. Yeah, bro. And would you chance it again? You're like, if this dog dies, it's going to break my fucking heart. But it's worth taking a chance even for a broken heart. That's what was so weird. And I got that message. It was almost like the Apple metaphor that I keep hearing, but it was so amazing. I can't believe someone's walking their dog in New York. Fucking YouTube's amazing. But and I can't believe you found this channel. But yeah, dude, it's one of those things where he was saying even if you ate the apple and every bite that you ate of that apple was delicious, and then you found a worm in the middle, doesn't make it not worth it. And no, it doesn't negate the other bites, bro. It just negates that it's not sustainable. And that's what I've been really hunting for Saints Addiction the longest time, is finding something that is longer lasting than the drugs were. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could get high with you right there in the fucking park and did a bump of blow and call it a day and think that that's going to be okay. Soon thereafter, you can leave the park and I'll still be Jones and looking for coke, because I mean that's what I put my faith in. I put my faith in some external powers that it's going to come save me, right? Like, as long as I have access to drugs, I have access to my emotional stability. And that's just simply not true. Over here at Saints Addiction, the truth is you're throwing your emotional stability off. You're throwing chemicals in a very complicated system. You talk about CPTSD, good Lord knows. Not only do you have your experience, and not only do you have your environment, but now you're supposed to process this with chemicals on top of it. This is where it leads to disaster, and this is where Saints Addiction got created. It's not easy to keep this between our brains so solid. That's why I do the morning marijuana motivation. And who else is in here? Shout out where you're at, and where you're from, and where you're watching from, and how'd you get to know about this channel. But that's crazy that I'm coming up on Thailand stuff. I'm in Thailand right now, but I've been all over the world this whole year, and it's like, hey, you searching Thailand stuff? Would you like to hear about emotional damage from some weirdy, beardy guy in the middle of the island? Hold on, as soon as I roll this joint, you'll get to see the rainforest, and we'll just chill with it. But this is something that I had to deal with, and I have to admit that I have some emotional damage, that I'm stuck to these women like almost like my mother, this Oedipus complex, where it's just like, oh, I can fix her, or as long as my mom's happy, I'm happy, or any of these things. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't be the only one with an Oedipus complex. I can't be the only one with complex CPTSD, or hard relationships to have with their family or loved ones. It's developed throughout me in my whole life, and I go and go sit there and go, well, somebody go, well, what's your longest relationship, and how did that go, and how did that end? And it was just like, I don't think it's about even longevity. I think it's more about quality, and it's not just about the other person. I literally pick myself apart just like a quarterback, Monday quarterback, the day after Sunday, and just go, why'd you throw that pass, Mark? Why did you, dude? She had defenders all over her, bro. What do you mean? She had fucking mass amount of suitors, bro. How did you not see that? How did you not see that play? What the hell were you thinking? And we all do that to the poor quarterback, and everybody. What the hell were you thinking? Well, shit, I was thinking I was running for my fucking life, and I had a 350-pound linebacker behind me, and if I didn't haul ass to the sideline, I get tackled and I get hurt. That's what I was thinking. So it's easy to say to somebody while they're moving full sprint, right? Right? They're moving, they're hauling ass, and you go, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And you're like, oh, well, shit, I was a little bit busy with all the complex trauma that was in front of me. So let's get that out of the way, and let's see what this guy has to say. Stay away from her is what it says, okay?
There are warning signs in women that can ruin your life. Don't be a naive fool who thinks he won't experience it. Be mindful that a woman's external allure and beauty may conceal negative characteristics that will come back to haunt you if you ignore them or allow your haughtiness to impair your judgment. Get ready, as we are going to talk about the 8 major warning signs that every man needs to be aware of. Stay tuned for the final one,
rolling the joint,
as it may be the most significant. Number 1, male friends. When a woman maintains close friendships with other men, or even if she has normal male friends in general, I suggest you run in the opposite direction. I'm aware that some people will call you insecure or jealous, but don't let them influence you.
It's just the availability of having sex. That's the thing. And of course, we're all attracted to each other, but you don't want to be on the other side of a pregnancy, and then you were off with your, what's it called? Your, what do they call them? Office husbands or something to that effect. You don't want to have your hand in a fucking cookie jar or nowhere near it, and be able, somebody be able, well, that one time you went to that bathroom with that one dude and we don't know. It doesn't ensure paternity, and it definitely gets you question marks. It's the same stuff as like suspicious behavior. If you're doing sus behavior, you know, you were out late that night, or you're hanging out with the wrong crowd, sus, bro. You can't help but look bad. And it was like my buddy the other day. He was walking down the street with his water gun, and I was just like, just you walking looks suspicious, mate. You and I walking down the street with my big beard and your fucking crazy wily eye. I can tell that you're up to some suspicious, up to no good shit. I would watch you as a cop. I would watch me, and this just sucks because you don't want to be racially profiled and you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb. But watching you, dude, you're like those. The way you're shifting and moving makes you look super suspicious, and that's why this is emotional damage. Let's go.
Crucial to acknowledge that women, and some men who have forgotten what it means to be a man, do not fully understand the ramifications of this circumstance. In actuality, a large number of them either don't understand or choose to completely disregard the dynamics
มองหาเที่ยวบินราคาถูกอยู่ใช่ไหม จองถูกกว่าที่ Agoda
between men and women. It's really depressing. It would have been unheard of in any other era to let your partner get close to a group of men.
Let alone
imagine leaving your wife alone with these so-called male friends who are desperate for an excuse to get into sexual relations and are full of fraud testosterone. Only in this day and age do people choose to minimize the importance of sexual tension and act as though men and women are not naturally sexually inclined.
That's why we cover
Let's
up
avoid
these.
slipping into that snare. Consider this. What benefit does a man receive from having female friends?
None.
Actually, there aren't any. Well, so-called male friends only hang out with her in the hopes of grabbing any chance to have sex.
That part.
When that opportunity arises, they show their true colors like ravenous hyenas. Conversely, having male friends offers women a lot of advantages.
Yeah.
They can count on them for security, financial support, and repairs.
That's it.
Some women play a crafty game where they take advantage of these fictitious friendships and give nothing in return.
That was it.
The truth
that
is,
was the one that stuck out to me this morning was that they don't give anything in return. I was telling her, you're talking to this dude, you're running off on the motorcycle, you didn't fuck him, but he might have had to sit there for 3 hours listening to your emotional damage. What did he get out of it? The idea that he might think that you're friends and then you'll be on the back of his bike later and then fucking you guys will be something, right? Like that's there's always a give back. There's a give and pull here. And if you're willing to just take someone's time and just let them blah blah blah, then either you're a psychologist and you're getting $65 an hour with a psych degree, or B, you're using someone, their meat, money, energy, attention, and time, and not returning anything. So that's really psychopathy in itself. It's just like I couldn't do that. I can't talk to anyone just about anything. I have my circle of friends that know my stories, and I don't have to start from the beginning or re-explain everything and do all that shit all over again. That shit's time consuming. You want your friends that have been paying attention to you, know all the players, and know what the fuck is going on. Let's go.
That a sexual encounter is inevitable and her defenses will eventually give way. Don't be fooled by the attempts of the modern world to conflate gender roles. There is no denying the reality of the dynamics between men and women. Just notice the whole atmosphere changes when a girl walks into a room full of gods.
Sure does.
I would be interested in knowing what you think about this.
It's like a hyena.
Number 2, sexual past. Pay close attention to this because it may be the most significant lesson in the video. A woman with many bodies is not desired by any man.
I didn't want to judge.
Today, which is overflowing with
I don't want to judge.
Might try to paint you as insecure.
Yeah. What's the name of the video you're playing?
Regardless of how much they try to make you feel better.
7 red flags in women you should never ignore. 7, you want to screenshot it? 7 red flags in women you should never ignore. Sexual promiscuity, body count, having trouble, trauma bond. I would literally watch this video before I ever get on, but I wanted to explain, and
about it.
I had to learn too, bro. Girl, whoever's
Men need
watching.
to actively increase their value, but women need to protect their inherent worth.
Right.
It is true that any woman
Thanks.
could
No
have
worries.
casual
Screenshot
relationships
it.
with multiple partners, but that is not a commendable behavior. It actually negates her intrinsic value.
Intrinsic
Research has
value.
demonstrated that a woman finds it more difficult to build meaningful emotional connections and meaningful relationships with men.
That's what we're
the more
doing.
sexual partners she has. It appears as though their experiences have left them emotionally scarred.
Emotional damage. Let's light this joint. Bro, you can't escape it. It's everywhere. Everywhere you want to be, the history is following you. And like she told me, she's like, my past is haunting me. And I'm just like, it's eventually going to do that. It's one of those things that you can suppress. You can go out into the real world and be a career person and do all these awesome things. But if you got daddy issues and you got them unhandled and you're unhinged, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel it. and it's got to come out. It's like a sinking ship. Wherever the weakness is, that's where the water's coming through, and it seeps in usually when you're in relationships. That's when you're most exposed. It's not at the Johnny at the water fucking fountain ain't gonna fucking call you out on your daddy issues. You know what I'm saying, bro? It ain't gonna happen there. It's gonna happen when you don't take someone's lead, or you question authority, or you constantly seem to not have the ability to respect people. And you've never seen a man be respected by a woman, so therefore, how can you replicate the same thing? Does that make sense? It's like that's what we're looking for as example from our parents. It's just somebody that can do the same thing in front of us and show us, not just talk about it, prove to us, right? Because you got to have some sort of. I'm trying to get my fan on me. I keep that thing on me. To prove to us that this is possible, bro. That this is even a possibility that you can see an example of real love. And I don't know many people that do that. I'm trying to. I want the fan to fuck this all up, but an example of love. Wow, the sun is actually shining on me. Oh, thank you, sunshine. Thank you. Let me bless up to the sunshine. You should bless up too. Life is coming at us fast. Let's see what happens. Let's go.
Scientific research is not required to substantiate this assertion. Since the beginning of time, it has been deeply rooted in our collective understanding. It's time to move on if a woman of this caliber exists. In the future, more videos on the subject will be produced. To ensure you don't miss them, be sure to subscribe. Number 3, Daddy subject will be produced.
Sorry.
To ensure you don't miss them, be sure to subscribe.
There we go.
Number 3,
Daddy issues.
Daddy issues. Let's talk about something we've all seen. Girls who have problems with their dads. This is not a sight to be hopeful about.
No.
When a girl doesn't have a strong masculine father
Right.
figure in her life, she looks to other men to fill the void.
That's what ends up happening.
The issue is that she has no idea what true masculine love is like.
When a father holds a daughter on his lap and makes her safe and lets her know how love, where to be touched, what's supposed to happen.
Some girls may indeed have self-respect. They just haven't fallen into this pattern with other gods.
Say forbid.
Still, there's a warning sign.
Do you got yourself a mama? Do you know how to treat your mama? I know for sometimes I'd be mean to my mom. It's not cool. My dad was abusive to her, and somehow, in some ways, I am. Verbally, I don't beat up my mom, but I'm like, Mom, come on, man. I'm fucking gotta get off the phone. I'm not always the nicest to my mom, and I hate admitting it, but it also comes to my respect with women. If it exhibit this when we were kids, when I was a kid, around my mom, to seeing the mental imbalance and seeing that I could lose favor out of a woman, especially one that I'm connected with. It made me kind of chase it more, and then therefore I had mommy issues where I was chasing, a girl to be the mom of my children and be mentally stable or try to fix them. Anybody else? Is that just me? It can't be just me. Let's go.
We're taught to honor and admire a strong masculine figure, so they haven't seen firsthand how their mother respected her father.
You got to look at respect.
They don't even know
how do you respect somebody?
You as a result.
How do they want to be treated? And what's proper?
It's usually a good idea to look for a girl who has a close, positive relationship with her father.
Do they have a family? Is their parents divorced?
Please share any experiences you may have had with this in the comments section.
Do they have a relationship with their father?
4, promiscuous friends.
Do they have promiscuous friends? Are they all trying to fuck? Are they strippers? You never know.
Friend's influence should never be undervalued.
Let's go.
Number 5.
Mockery.
Many men don't take the impact of women making fun of them seriously enough.
Emasculating.
Pay close attention to this.
Cursing.
More often, the more disrespect you
picking you apart.
She is clearly
your bathroom.
She dares to downplay your ambitions.
Downplaying your ambitions. Oh, you were supposed to buy that bungalow already. Oh, you owe tabs around town. What else was the other things? You got a bad reputation. Man, none of that stuff's positive, bro. I was just like, wow, this is so crazy that somebody could sit here and try to break me down mentally. And this is where my emotional damage and why I have to have this conversation this morning. I was just like, if it isn't character assassinations, if it isn't killing your ambitions or trying to annihilate your character, that's some harsh shit, bro. That's some chick shit, dude, man. I was listening to my friend the other day, and they thought that she was doing some tantric workshop, and this chick's like, oh, you gave me, she has psoriasis, and they're like, oh, you gave me ringworm. And then everybody spread the news that she had ringworm. And even though she didn't, and they spread false lies, they tried to damage her character. They're like she couldn't sleep in the same hotel, and everybody wouldn't invite her to dinner, and they ostracized her. And I was just like, dude, this is not positive for a tantric society, right? That didn't sound rapidly inclusive or helpful. It sounded like judgment and disgrace. And who wants to be around that shit
You have to
anyway?
make sure it doesn't occur again. This also holds true when
Disrespect.
she yells indignation or raises her voice even a little.
Raising the
These might not
voice.
seem like much,
By
but
the
they
way,
indicate a serious
yelling is only for emergencies. I stopped it and paused it again because it's one of the most important things that I learned. But yelling's for emergencies. It's not for turning the fan off. It's not for irritability. It's not even for frustration. If you're yelling, you've lost your control, and there should be an emergency involved. If it's not, then you're just being abusive, and that comes out too, right? The mockery. Let's go.
concern. In the long run, it will cost you a ridiculous amount of brain damage if you
Brain
don't tackle it head
damage.
on right away. Number 6. Center of attention. A
Gotta
woman
be
who wants to be the center of attention and always in the spotlight is the biggest
the
turnoff for men.
outfits, the drama.
It's not just
How
that
can
she's
it
trying to get
lead? How
attention
can it
when she
lead?
talks
How
over
can I
you
get
all the
everyone's
time, or
attention?
tries to make herself heard over you.
Yeah.
She's also trying to make you look less manly.
Ooh,
It
another
isn't authentic
demasculating
femininity.
trait.
A
Toxic.
truly feminine woman is adept at taking the lead without overpowering the
You
conversation
don't. You
or
don't.
being overly
You don't have to
chatty.
dominate, bro.
She
That's
also
some.
knows how to be
That's a man
submissive.
trait.
Number 7.
Submissive. They would never. They don't even know how to
Fangirl.
spell that.
I'm going to
Fangirls.
talk about the biggest red
Right.
flag here, so listen
So
carefully.
they fan all over some
Imagine your girl
dude.
going completely crazy at a concert, wanting to touch the
Concert.
musician's shoes
The
or cover
drummer.
every available space with
The
his
lead
pictures.
singer. They would
Similar
leave
to
you
the
in
other
a
warning
heartbeat to
indicators we've
be with
covered,
them. And that means that
99%
they're
of men
monkey
experience
branching. They
uneasiness when
can't
they see
wait,
this
dude.
one.
They can't wait to
And
find
there's
another
merit to
better
that
dude.
feeling.
And that fucking
You know deep
sucks. Let's
down
go.
that doesn't indicate that she thinks they're better than you,
Better
and
than
you don't
you.
see this as a warning sign.
Wow.
In conclusion, it's
Let's
essential
go.
for every man to recognize these red flags and heed them as warnings. While no relationship is without its challenges, being aware of these warning signs can help you navigate the treacherous waters of modern dating with greater clarity and confidence.
Learning.
Remember, your well-being and happiness are paramount, and it's far better to walk away from a potentially toxic situation than to suffer the consequences of ignoring the signs.
Damn.
Stay
And
vigilant. Trust
this is trust your instincts. This is where it comes to it. I have to protect my happiness. It's a target that I have the ability to make myself happy. You see motherfuckers walking around with no smile on their face. They're not happy at all. You probably walking in New York, no smile, no smile. It's that rare. It's almost like gold. You know, if it was laying on the top of the rocks, we would just have it in abundance. But this is the thing that they have to dig for. And you have to dig for happiness. You have to protect yourself. And to be able to have any sort of wherewithal or mental stability, that's just priceless, bro. If you can keep it, then you earned it and it's yours. Let's go.
your instincts and prioritize your own self-respect above all else. Only then can you truly build a healthy, fulfilling relationship based on mutual respect and genuine
Mutual
connection.
respect and genuine
Feel free
connection.
to like and subscribe so you won't miss any videos in the future.
Yeah, definitely like and subscribe in the future. I got 2 minutes to close out this show, but I listen to these videos. I share my responses with it. It's not easy to put my shit out on online and be like, oh, dude, this just happened to me, and I'm about to have my birthday, and this is always emotionally on me. But if I don't have a good, healthy conversation with myself, it comes out unhealthy. And that's what I want to be, is healthy. And that's what this is paramount. You know, the top of things. It's paramount that you keep your healthiness. It's paramount that you keep your stability. It's paramount that you see these signs. And you might have signs too. You know, I question myself. I go, what did I do? You know, what are my toxic traits? And how do I stop being so emotionally unavailable or so aggressive or so frustrated? It's something that I have to learn in myself too. My patience level isn't that high. My communication needs to be better, and Lord knows I make mistakes too. So it's not like this is all on the women, bro. You know, I'm sitting here going like, this is Me Too movement. Men too have these experiences, and this is why I said yesterday that men have emotions. You know, men are allowed to have emotions, and I did that yesterday. And this is what we experience. They go, why? What makes men go crazy? These are these experiences, and it was driving me crazy. So I had to go get some wherewithal. I had to get some new information. I had to learn what was going on with me so that I can have real conversations with myself. And thank you for having this real conversation with me this morning. Thank you for shining. You know, I hope that you're in New York, but you're probably not shining, but get that halo on you, you know, halo and horns. That's Mostly Saints. If you got anything out of this message, go to Instagram, Mostly Saints, Travel by Saints. I am traveling. And of course, Saints Addiction. And of course, as always, peace and love and Chi-gathon. That means goodbye, but not forever in Phoenix. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe, but also the other side of fear, also the other side of your excuses, and also the other side of the world. As soon as you can expand these things, then you have some sort of wherewithal to them. You have some sort of ability to understand them, and hopefully you got something out of this message. You're like, oh, those are something I didn't know. That was a cool perspective. If you did, please comment below so that someone else can learn it too, and share it with someone that you think they can get some value out of it. That's what we do. So Saints, Mostly Saints, Saints Addiction, Travel by Saints, it's all part of Saints brand, dude. It's what I do. It's like me trying to be a better person, even though I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm a flawed human being, but so are you. And that's the whole attempt of it too, right? To be better humans, and let's be better humans. Um, um, and the only way you can do that is by working on you. So to thy own self be true, do the work. Thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out the Thailand videos. If you get a chance, go back and watch Songkran yesterday. It was a blast, and I'm hoping you're having a blessed day too. Peace. Ciao. Bella. Beijos. Thanks for tuning in.